The daddy-daughter dream team are back and worse than ever. For those of you not familiar with Patrick and Sarah, I highly recommend my first video on them, but a quick rundown would be that they are a dad and daughter TikTok duo who found themselves in a lot of controversy for the inappropriate nature of their dances. But upon further investigation, people would find a pretty disturbing rabbit hole. From lewd AI accounts to some of the most disturbing literature I have ever laid my eyes upon, all created by the father, Patrick. While a lot of these disturbing stories involve a relationship between father and daughter, and for months Sarah and Patrick swore this wasn't them, it was the internet who was weird for thinking something was going on, only to confess during an interview with a fellow TikToker. But both he and Sarah would disappear soon after this interview. And that is where we pick up today. Spoilers, the dream team will return. But this video is in chronological order and some things did happen while they were on hiatus. Things like the disclosure of the messages between Patrick and his TikTok interviewer, Hannah. And these messages would shine even more light on Patrick's depravity. So yes, I wrote that story. That is the only story like that I have ever written. It was complete fiction, and it was hard for me to even write it. But I was being stupid, trying to get traction for the whole AI account, and terrifying as it is, most of the top read stories on that site are from that category. There, I said it. Now you know everything that I have lied about except for one thing. Sarah never moved out completely. We got a 2-bedroom apartment at the extended stay, and the second bedroom has a second kitchen and a door, so it's kind of the same, but not really. So many people were pressuring her to move out that she just wanted to try to get a break from it all. She didn't want to leave TikTok, so she just felt it was better to make people believe she had left. That is it. That is the full truth. This message is extremely important for a couple of reasons. First, Patrick admits that he writ one of those disgusting stories. And with that admission, it's kind of hard to claim you didn't write the rest of them. This means that Patrick has now admitted to the Ariella Brigman account, modeled after Jenna Frank, and the horribly disturbing stories that he wrote online. But as awful as it sounds, everyone already knew this. There was a mountain of other evidence pointing towards Patrick being behind this. Something that less people were sure about was Sarah moving out. Now don't get me wrong, there were still many who didn't believe her story of moving a half hour away and getting a job. But that text from Pat seals it. This explains why Patrick had nearly disappeared from the camera, because they were trying to make their new extended stay seem like Sarah's apartment. I have never heard of an extended stay having 2 kitchens. There are very few homes that have 2 kitchens, so this was likely an attempt at shielding Sarah from the criticism she was about to receive, as she had requested a vast array of items on an Amazon wishlist, under the pretenses of her moving out. New cookware, new blankets, all kinds of stuff. And Patrick just admitted it was all a lie. Just imagine the life of your average daddy-daughter dream team fan. Like a legitimate fan. First, you gotta put aside the mountain of evidence that Patrick is up to something disgusting. And then they lie and scam you. If I'm being honest, that's what they deserve. The people who legitimately enjoy this kind of content need to be investigated, because it is utterly disturbing the amount of defense I see for their actions in their TikTok comments. But there also seems to be support for this coming from within the home. The public was recently made aware that Teresa, the mother, knows about the Ariella Brigman AI account. My assumption is that she either doesn't care or doesn't understand how serious this is. Teresa doesn't seem to be able to take care of herself. I think that Patrick has taken advantage of this, also convincing her that this kind of lifestyle they live is normal. So as sad as it sounds, I don't really expect her to ever stand up in defense of her daughter. All of this information came from the interviewer, Hannah, who was off and on social media because she had received a massive amount of backlash for her interactions with the Dream Team. But during one of her brief returns to social media, she would reveal that the Dream Team would be coming back soon. Specifically Sarah, who would be uploading on her own. And Hannah wasn't lying, because around the middle of December, Sarah would return to TikTok, claiming she just wanted to put the past behind her.
I took some time to reset and refocus and really think about what I wanted to create and share moving forward, and I'm honestly really excited to be here again. Going forward, this page is going to be all about fun, creativity, and everyday life. I'll be posting things like TikTok shop finds, get ready with me videos, and just content that feels light, positive, and real. I'm choosing to focus on the present and what's ahead, and I'm really grateful for the people who are here for that energy. I also wanted to share that the Dream Team channel will be back soon. We're just taking a little time to clean up some older videos and get everything organized before jumping back in.
This is something that Sarah has been warned about time and time again, that if she continued to listen to her father, eventually she would be involved in something that would get her a lot of ire on social media. And now that she had performed a wishlist scam, a lot less people were looking at her as a victim. And it seems this sentiment has only gotten worse with time. She doesn't understand that some of the people who gave to her wish list genuinely just wanted her away from Patrick, and she just scammed them. To make matters worse, Sarah was also religiously deleting comments calling her out on this and all of the other stuff the Dream Team had done, claiming that she just wanted to make new content in a new chapter of her life. But almost nothing had changed. If you need more proof of that, the very next day, the Dream Team would return, giving us our first glimpse at Patrick in quite some time.
Everyone, we're back, but before anything else, I need to speak openly for a moment. Over the past couple of years, we have made some creative decisions that have crossed lines for a lot of people. We've taken time to listen, reflect, and understand how some of what we shared affected others.
Before moving on, I want to say this clearly. We are truly sorry for any hurt or discomfort that our content has caused. That was never our intention. We didn't fully understand the impact some of those choices could have, and that matters.
That chapter is closed. Those choices are over for good. They do not reflect who we are, what we believe, or how we live our lives.
From this point forward, our path is clear. We will only make content that uplifts others, makes people smile, and brings positivity and joy into their lives. Let me be clear. We are not here to defend, argue, or relive the past. We are choosing to move forward with humility, responsibility, and care.
Patrick, your content, if it could even be called that, is some of the most hurtful and disturbing content I have ever seen. There's no way I'm gonna read any of these stories to you guys. I'd have to censor almost everything. But they are absolutely vile stories involving family members. There is no apology on earth fitting for what you have done, Patrick, or the kind of evil that you have put out into the world, let alone committed. I have no idea on what planet they thought this was a good idea. Patrick says that he wants to move forward with humility and responsibility, when neither are possible at this point. And like I said earlier, nothing has changed. They would soon return to dancing videos, continue to delete any negative comment about them, leaving all of the elephants in the room unaddressed.
Well, it wouldn't be a Dream Team Reborn without a dance challenge.
Really? We're back to that again?
Yes, we're back.
You know you can't beat me, right?
This was your idea, okay?
I know.
Of course, this is all Patrick's idea. He can't stay off of social media. He's been making content on it for a very long time. But I think the main reason they're doing this is money. Sarah would start to shill more and more for the TikTok shop, while also trying to pivot towards Christian content, claiming that people had gotten the wrong impression of her, and that going forward she would be more modest.
I mean, I'm pretty sure by the close it's pretty much self-explanatory why I'm getting rid of them. I didn't explain why I'm doing this. Basically, over the last couple of weeks, I have been praying and asking God for guidance, and He has told me that I need to change the way I dress. So the way I dress now, people look at me and think, oh, she must be ready for the club. I want people to look at me and think, oh, she must be ready for church. I don't want people to see my body. Like, I don't want people to look at me and say, oh my God, she's so hot. So as you can tell, most of those were either too short or too low cut, or like that brown one had a slit. So yeah.
People being critical of what you wear is the least of your concerns, Sarah. Personally, I think this was spurred on by Patrick. You may have noticed in some of the more recent videos that Sarah is still wearing that purity ring that Patrick proposed to her with. I think that, along with dressing modestly, is how he keeps Sarah from having any forms of normal relationships, by socially isolating her as much as possible. I also want to talk about the attempted Christian rebrand for a moment, because I think a lot of it also lies in trying to scam people and make them forget about all the awful stuff they've done and are currently doing. Because if Sarah was really talking to the Lord and he really spoke back, I'm sure he would say to return the money you scammed from people. But what do I know? I'm just a guy who really likes mug root beer. One thing I really don't like, though, is Cooking with Patrick, a series that would also make its return. I don't know how much more incriminating Patrick can get. His love of Monster Hunter is well known, and he views himself as some kind of master chef from the game. I would also like to point out that it was this love of Monster Hunter that led to him getting found out. If I'm remembering correctly, one of his smut stories was set in the Monster Hunter universe. He also wears a Monster Hunter shirt in one of these videos. It's like I said, I don't know if he could get any more incriminating. But the food he cooks is also just slop, and he makes a mess that accumulates with every cooking video that's posted.
All right, everybody, the moment you've all been waiting for, or at least most of you who have watched our channel before. It's Cooking with Dad! Tonight, I got a very special meal for you. So, everybody's had meatball subs, right? I mean, you love meatball subs because of the meatballs. They're so delicious, the sauce. But it's so hard to eat sometimes because the balls are rolling around in the bread. And I don't know about you, but that gets annoying. I mean, I love meatball subs, but I'm going to do you one better. I'm making meatball burgers. So I got this loaf of French bread here, and I'm putting it in the water. Now, I know everybody who doesn't know this trick is probably going to come for me on this one, but trust me when I tell you, I learned this from a chef on YouTube, and he's very popular, and I tried it, and it works. My garlic in a butter dish. Now, I'm not going to use all this because I need some for the sauce, but just kind of half of it in here. Same with the onions. You're going to put half of these onions in here.
Yummy.
You got to have a good amount of my Italian seasoning here. Good amount of that. And I just add a teensy bit of olive oil for a little kind of extra flavor. I promise it's not as disgusting as it looks.
Yes? Oh, salt.
So we're going to put some salt in here. The magic seasoning of Cooking with Dad. Some dill. We're going to add that.
Perfect for this because it's Italian.
Well, dill is used in a lot more than just Italian food, my sweet.
Yeah, it is.
So you just want to get it all incorporated. The bread's going to like break up and meld with everything. And we're going to add a big can of crushed tomatoes. They want to be firm enough to handle the sauce, but not so firm that they're overly crunchy. And Sarah's going to do the taste test for you because she's really not sure about this one.
Yeah, not quite sure.
I'm going to set it right on top of that.
I may have been wrong
And then
because that looks good.
I'm just going to put the top bun on there. And you may end up needing a fork.
I was just going to say that.
It's a big burger.
No, as Hunter would say, you just got to lock in. To handle this, those buns were a little too soft and a little too...
So like I said earlier, this cooking thing is all ego for Patrick. You can tell Sarah hates it, it looks disgusting, but he truly believes that he's just made an amazing meal. I really believe that Patrick has some kind of god complex, and the cooking plays a big role in it. Sarah looked so sad eating it, and I wouldn't be shocked if the rest of the family felt the same. We haven't really seen much of the rest of the family, but when we do, it's not good. Patrick and Sarah seem to use Teresa as manual labor more often than not. A prime example would be how they go live and mind their own business while Teresa watches Sarah's dog, who is a pretty good size and nowhere near any form of trained. So as they're streaming, you can audibly hear Teresa struggling with the dog, who's probably pulling her all over the park.
Ow. Yes, my glasses are prescription glasses. Nope, you can't go play. That's not, like, it's not just like an allergy, like it's a severe allergy. Even like one little piece of chicken sets her off. Ow! Jackie, calm down, baby.
Occasionally.
No!
Sarah has absolutely no business owning this dog. She's not training it, and a dog that size can be really dangerous if not properly handled. That, along with living out of an extended stay, none of it's ideal. We can only hope that she, along with the rest of the family, can find freedom, because Patrick is worse than ever. Nothing has convinced me that he has changed. They claim that they've dialed back their content, saying that all the touchy-feely stuff was just silly fun, but their new videos are as uncomfortable as ever.
He has no idea what I'm doing, but I told him I had an idea and I wanted to film it, but I didn't tell him what it was because I wanted to see his genuine reaction. No, get back here! It's nothing bad.
Every time you want my genuine reaction, it's something tear-jerking.
No, I promise it's nothing tear-jerking.
Okay.
I have a story for you. So along comes the spider, and the spider asked the duck, "Why are you in my web?" The duck said, "I was just walking along the riverbank and I stepped in your web. I'm sorry." The duck looked up to the trees and saw that an egg, a duck egg, was trapped in the spider's web. The duck asked the spider, "Why do you have a duck egg?" The spider said, "Oh, that's my lunch." The duck said, "No, please don't eat my friend's egg." The spider thought about it for a minute and looked at the duck and said, "I'll make a deal with you. If you allow me to permanently web your feet together, your toes together."
Even before knowing what Patrick did, he unsettled me, but now it's just crazy to look at him and wonder what kind of evil is running around in that noggin. Every day that passes, Sarah seems to be more like him, more confrontational with the audience, more willing to lie, to cover up things that might make her look bad. And that's what was being done with this Amazon wish list. People were furious that they'd given their hard-earned money to a scam, one that had not been addressed since the Dream Team's return. While I think criticism from their actual fans got so intense that Sarah was forced to post an apology video, if it could even be called that, I view it more as Sarah fessing up to her lie.
I never moved out. I only made that up because I was so tired of all the hate and everyone constantly telling me to move out. I know it was wrong to deceive everyone with the wish list. I am so sorry that I misled everyone. I did use everything that was gifted to decorate my room, but that doesn't excuse asking for it under the guise that I had my own apartment. I have decided to give everyone the option of a refund. If you bought something from the wish list, send an email to our main email, which is on screen now, along with the screenshot of the order so I can see the item you bought and the cost, along with your PayPal and your email address. I will try to make sure everyone who wants their refund gets it by the end of February. I'm sorry, but that's the earliest I can guarantee. Things are tight for us right now.
This video has since been deleted, and I've seen absolutely no evidence of people getting their refunds. My assumption is that Sarah had seen a massive drop-off in financial support. This is not the last we'll hear of the Amazon wish list. We're nowhere near done with the lies surrounding it. For now, it seemed that the Dream Team had made somewhat of a return. Well, mostly Sarah, who was appearing in the vast majority of videos. And I think this was because Patrick knew he was pretty well finished being a public figure, and he thought that he could squeeze some more money out of Sarah. So he posted an explanation video giving his side of why he hadn't been on camera, aside from cooking with Dad. And as usual, it's more lies and excuses.
I know we haven't been posting recently, and the reason for that is because we have been focusing all of our attention on Sarah's new Facebook. Recently, Sarah has decided to take most of her efforts and put them into her new Facebook page, Life with Sarah. Now, this Facebook page is centered on Christianity, Bible verses, prayers, encouraging words, from a Christian perspective. This is something that she feels really strongly about. We've always been Christian, but recently she's really wanted to focus her attention there. The main reason for that is Facebook is an open book, as it were. Right now, the monetization program over there is taking off, and she feels if she can get monetized, she can really make a go of it and become an influencer in the Christian space. And I'm going to be right there to support her 100%, back her up, help her make content, study the Bible with her, do whatever I have to do to encourage her and to help her on her journey. All the hate and all the crap that we dealt with that really put a damper on things for us, but we're back. We are moving forward. We have put all that in the past, and now we're moving forward in a new direction, and we're going to really try to make this work. It's been really rough for us lately. Any of you want to support Sarah and her new ministry, as it were?
Many people have pointed out that the profit margins on Facebook are just higher. To make a living wage on TikTok, you need to produce an obscene amount of views, an amount that is much less over on Facebook. Low-key though, no platform beats YouTube if you're trying to build an audience, at least in my opinion. They've just got it all: shorts, lives, long-form content. But I didn't come here to shill for YouTube. My point being is that TikTok is not really a good place for a creator to make a living. So I highly suspect this is the main reason behind their rebrand and transition to Facebook. They're now going to try to scam Christians on a platform that has very little knowledge of their past actions, like the Amazon wishlist, with Sarah eventually claiming that everyone who requested a refund had gotten one. A complete and utter lie.
Hello everyone, so everyone who requested a refund has been refunded for the wishlist items. I was able to complete them earlier than I expected. I apologize again for being so stupid and immature. Deceiving people is wrong, and I knew that. I should have been honest from the start, and I wouldn't have lost the trust of my followers. I am moving on. I am moving forward with full honesty from now on. I'm still going to do my TikTok shop videos, and I may at some point put up some merch for sale, but I never expect anyone to buy if they don't want or need the item that I'm advertising. If you do buy merch or a TikTok shop item that I advertise, thank you so much, but I won't be lying anymore to get support. If I don't truly believe in an item, I won't give it a good review. I will always be honest with my TikTok shop reviews. That is my promise to all of my followers. That being said, I am moving forward and continuing to build my Facebook and my TikTok. Facebook will become a place where I can post Christian content and spread the word of God, while my TikTok will be a place where I can show myself and my life.
One of the top comments under this TikTok was, "I still haven't received my refund." There is no way in hell that they had the money to pay people back. And all of the items she received are already used. They're not gonna go back. It has been one lie after the next with these two. And all the while, Sarah goes on posting about Christianity, and Patrick continues to make his food slop videos. It's like I've been saying for the past 20 minutes, nothing has changed. You're living in a fantasy land if you think Patrick is still not doing what he was doing in the past. And it sadly seems like the only person who can bring him to justice is completely brainwashed by him. I would like to once again end this video on a message to Sarah. Now is your best opportunity to get out of this. Take the help that people are offering you, run, and never look back. Because your father involving you in scams like this is most likely another attempt to isolate you. He saw that there were people out there who would supply you with items to get away from him, and has now completely twisted that trust that they had in you. Time and your support are running out.